My word. There may come a day when we stop talking about Elon Musk and Twitter and we focus on other things, but it is not this day. Today, we're just going to dive into it a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but there is a point where a vacation stops being a vacation and you have to recover from your vacation, right? Easter was that way for me. I went to Galveston, like the moment I got off stream, I think I wrote I wrote a VIP piece for you guys after the stream on Friday. And then I left for Galveston pretty much immediately. Drove to Galveston, immediately was tossed into a party. Then had to wake up the next morning at about 6 o'clock because of kids that were just screaming. I was at my parents' house, and my nephews were there, and my nephews got pipes, and they were screaming. So I was up early that morning, and then after the party that we had that Saturday for his first birthday, or one of my nephew's first birthdays, I woke up for sunrise service in church on the Galveston beach, which was awesome. Fully recommend. And then drove immediately back to Dallas and tried to relax, but wasn't. I mean, I was like falling asleep on the couch. And I still feel like I'm suffering bad from a hangover right now, but I didn't even drink that much. You get that like post-vacation brain. You know what I'm saying? You get that post-vacation brain, and you're just like, I need like a week off from all the fun that I just had. It was fun, though, and happy belated Easter to everybody. Your boy is risen. You know how it goes. But I hope that your Easter was just as fun and eventful. But that said, today might be a bit shorter of a show. I am brain dead. But you know what? Show must go on. I love you guys. And I want to hang out, and I want to talk about some of the stuff that happened. Some of the stuff that is developing right now. But first, I want to focus on something a little lighthearted. What's up, noob? What's up, Carrie? Virginia sent me. Virginia sent... Are you having some what do they call it? Multiple personality disorder, Virginia? To be fair, the day that we stop talking about Elon and Twitter will be the day YouTube tells us we're not allowed to do it on penalty of suspension. Dude, you know what's funny is like there are a few fights happening right now in our country that I really feel are important, right? Like, for instance, the fight that parents are having against their public school systems, probably the most important one right now. You've got the midterms coming up, super important, all right? And then I consider this fight for Twitter one of the more important things to talk about. Because it is. I mean, look, say what you will about Twitter. It is kind of the de facto, like, town square as Elon Musk has called it. People will go to Twitter. Y'all, okay. People, like will decide policy for their companies, for major corporations, will decide policy based on the mobs that come after them on Twitter. You have people on social media from like congressmen and stuff like that who get mobbed on Twitter and quickly apologize for anything that they might have done wrong. Twitter does, whether we like it or not, have an effect on how how the West is won. Right? So, despite the fact that it's not a real place, and people do still need to learn how to dismiss a lot of the stuff that comes at them on Twitter, like these mobs that come after people on Twitter, we do need to learn that we can't ignore them. We're fully capable of ignoring them. But it does still kind of have power here. And it is the place where we come together to discuss ideas. And I do not think that it is a real place right now because it is so tainted by the corruption and ideological dictatorship of the ideological left. Of the radical left, excuse me. If Elon does take it and he privatizes it and makes it a free speech platform as he wants to, then I mean we get like a very real sense of where America is at. We can exchange ideas freely. So I think that this is a very important fight. Slow DK, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the post-Easter stream. Today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about, we're going to watch an SNL skit. SNL was actually funny. They actually did something that I didn't think that they were capable of doing. They actually made fun of Joe Biden, but I'm not going to get too excited. Joe Biden isn't exactly the Democrat Party's favorite person right now, and I kind of sense that this is just more of them turning on him in order to distance themselves. We'll get to that later. Also, it would seem that the left is a little bit panicky over the coming midterms, over the said coming midterms. And it's kind of funny to watch. We're going to read a couple articles on that. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Brett Jordan tweeted about free speech and Elon Musk. Oh my God, read the comments. It's really sad. I don't, trust me. Anybody, you should, guys, I'm going to show you guys my comments in a second here. Because some people are just like, they are mad. And when I say mad, I mean like Mad Hatter mad. They want to silence your speech. They really truly believe that free speech is a threat to everyone around them, including themselves. It is sad to look at. Super sad. He's an easy target. I kind of feel bad, speaking of easy targets, about Joe Biden the ways. But no. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that later. First, let's do this. I kind of want to see. I want to watch this with you guys. This SNL skit that came up recently was good. I actually had myself. I was laughing. I was actually laughing, and it was really cool. I was refreshed by an SNL skit. Promise not to show my comments. No promises. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna skip all this because I'm gonna explain it to you guys. But this weekend update with Colin and Shay, for those of you who haven't watched it yet, you're in for a treat. This is Colin Shay. What's the other guy's name? No, I'm sorry. I'm mixing them up. Michael Shay and Colin Jost. We're just gonna call him Colin Shay because that's their relationship name. Colin Shay, your weekend update with Colin and Shay. They actually made fun of Joe Biden, and I don't just mean like, poked him here. No, I mean like straight up like made fun of him like we would make fun of him. I was very surprised. So we, friends, are gonna watch it ourselves. That was good. I mean, there were like a couple there that were like, yeah, whatever. And like some of these were I actually laughed, and I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. We need more of that. I would love to be more entertained by these people because I think the mainstream media has its use. I think it really does. And this is why I always say, though, stop, don't get into this. We got to fight the mainstream media mentality. No, we got to influence or become the mainstream media. We have to influence them now. It's our turn. And I think through the internet, we've never had a better chance at doing that. And if Elon takes Twitter, we'll probably even have a better chance of doing that. The possibilities for Elon Musk once he owns Twitter are endless. The amount of influence we can have over the culture is endless in this case. What's up, Pickled Squirrel? I didn't think you were live today. I almost didn't go live today. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was talking to my fellow editors at Red State, and I'm like, guys, I don't know if I can do today. Like, I'm dead. I am dead. Like, my brain's not working. I was like trying to chug coffee, and I was like, what if I just didn't do the show today? And instead we just went to Wednesday, and they talked me out of it. And thank God they did. Thank God they did. I love you guys. I want to hang out, and I don't really want to miss an episode. I want to make sure that the show goes on. I think a lot of people don't realize that SNL used to be appointment TV, like Carson. You wanted to talk to other people about the skit's musical guest. That must have been a long time ago, because I've only known it as this kind of style. Define live. He's hungover. The funny part is I'm not actually hungover. I'm just like, it's more of like a... It's more of like an action hangover, you know? It's like I've been so busy and I've slept so little. I didn't really drink all that much over the course of Easter. Elon's fighting to give us a beachhead. Exactly. Here's the fun part about all this. Now we have Jack Dorsey. Y'all want to talk about leftists that are suddenly becoming a little bit more based? Jack Dorsey is now slamming Twitter, or at least it's bored. And I'm surprised, but not surprised by it. There's something about Jack Dorsey that, like, the guy just drives me crazy, right? There's something he seems a little squirrely, but in this case, I feel like we're actually seeing Jack Dorsey, the man, step out and do something right for a change. Because this dude started the party and looking, what's up, dude? What's up, John? Welcome. I'm finally getting to see Jack Dorsey, the dude. Not Jack Dorsey, like the Twitter CEO who has to obey all these rules and go along with, whatever the right or the left-leaning mob is saying at the time. No, Jack Dorsey, the Jack Dorsey. He's stepping out and he's going in, and I'm really happy about that. Twitter creator and former CEO Jack Dorsey hasn't been America's favorite person, nor should he be. He is one of the architects of Twitter's hard left speech silencing ways, after all. In what many would consider a strange turn of events, Dorsey seems to have found his voice about the problems going on behind the scenes at Twitter. By the way, this is all up at redstate.com. Everything I'm talking about is at redstate.com right now. Go and check it out. You can follow along with me if you want. Strongly recommend. Also, if you haven't done it already, press like on the stream. Press like on the stream. It really helps me out. And go check out the stream afterwards. If you can't attend live, you can always watch it later. And sometimes you'll be featured. You might be seen in a highlight. You never know. I try to put one of y'all's comments or a couple of y'all's comments in every single highlight video that I do. So be sure to say hi, YouTube, and hit the subscribe button. Recently, Twitter pulled out a nuclear option called a poison pill that would flood the market with new shares of Twitter should any one person acquire more than 15% of the company, effectively making the current stocks worth far less and stopping a hostile takeover from happening. This was done in order to stop Tesla SpaceX CEO and multi-billionaire Elon Musk from buying Twitter in order to turn it into more of a free speech platform. The attacks on Twitter's board began with many people pointing out that Twitter's board doesn't even seem to actually care about Twitter or take part in the platform themselves. The overall theme seems to be that people who aren't even a part of Twitter community are rigging the game. It would appear that Jack, of all people, is among them. Now, Jack, he's not CEO anymore, but he's still on the board. At least he's leaving the board, from what I understand. And now he's going in on the board. In response to someone pointing out that Twitter's board is one mired in plots and coups since the beginning, Jack responded confirming that this was actually true. This guy tweeted, look into the history of Twitter board. It's intriguing as I was witness on its early beginnings, mired in plots and coups, and particularly amongst Twitter's founding members. I wish if it could be made into a Hollywood thriller one day. I'm not sure that this guy's language, his first language is English. But regardless, he saw it happening. Jack responds to this guy with, it's consistently been the dysfunction of the company. When asked if he was allowed to say these things as a sitting member of Twitter's board, Dorsey didn't mince words. He simply responds, no. He doesn't care. This dude don't give a fudge. Only he didn't say fudge. He said, are you allowed to say this? And he straight up tweets, no. What a Chad. By the way, Dorsey has been acting, it would appear that he's all for Musk purchasing Twitter and taking the company private, eliminating the board completely, and running Twitter in the way it should be. By the way, Y'all want to talk about Chad energy. Y'all, I'm y'all remember when Trump told Hillary that she'd be in jail? Y'all remember that? And everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is insane." This is Elon Musk today. Elon Musk is in for a bad time. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but y'all can. This is kind of the picture of the current board and what their usage on Twitter is, or what their ownership, I'm sorry, on Twitter is. A lot of these people aren't even like, they're like doctors, MBAs. One of them is a baroness. And then you have Jack Dorsey down here with 2.2. Parag, he owns 0.063% of the company. A lot of these people seem to have very little to do with Twitter's ownership or anything like that. Let me point out something obvious. If Elon Musk takes Twitter private and Twitter board members don't have any jobs anymore, that pays them $250,000 to $300,000 per year for what is a nice part-time job. That could explain a lot. Elon Musk tweets out, board salary will be $0 if my bid succeeds. So that's $3 million a year saved right there. What a Chad. I love that. Dude, he's making it very clear. The Twitter board is going. He's going to take this company private. And he will run it as Elon Musk, as Good King Musk. That's what Twitter is going to be ruled by. Good King Musk. Given what we're learning about the board, I wouldn't particularly blame him. It appears to be a bunch of people who have no love of Twitter at all, nor do they have any vision for it. It would appear that their interests fall elsewhere, and that's clearly, if they actually screenshot one of the board members and his account. He has an account, but he has no tweets, no likes, no nothing. He doesn't use Twitter. He's not even on Twitter. He controls Twitter, but he has no interest in it whatsoever. Again, they were describing it as a part-time job, and I 100% agree with that. It's a part-time job for them, and they're raking in, $250,000 to $300,000 a year. I think what they're really concerned about isn't the health of Twitter. They're not worried about, it's either one of two things. Either they're not concerned at all about Twitter and they just want to keep the money that's coming to them, or they truly believe that silencing free speech is something that they have to do, and so they're fighting tooth and nail. It could be one of those. It could be both. I don't know. But either way, they're getting paid a lot of money to do it, and they do not want to lose that paycheck. And they're fighting Elon tooth and nail in order to keep themselves in business. So it's not about the shareholders. It's not about the health of the website or anything like that. It's about them and what they want. And if that's the case, then I feel like they are, and keep in mind, they are willing to burn Twitter to the ground to stop Musk from getting it. So clearly they're not acting in the best interests of the company. And I'm pretty sure that shareholders, like at this point in time, I'm not a legal expert. I'm hardly a market expert, but I feel like there's a case to be made here that Twitter's board is in some sort of way doing something illegal. And they probably can be sued. I've seen Musk kind of hint at that several times. Maybe that's his plan B. He's going to go in on the board. Maybe, I don't know. But it would be awesome. They definitely don't concern themselves about what's best for the company, as they're willing to tank Twitter's stock price just to keep it out of the hands of a man who wants to give people the ability to say what they want without fear of being censored by ideological zealots. They are, in fact, acting against the best interests of the stockholder. Something tells me the board is about to have a very hard time in the coming weeks. Dorsey, who actually uses Twitter, likely sees this trouble coming and doesn't want to be a part of it. I am willing to bet that in the coming weeks, the board is probably going to be confronted with lawsuits. They're definitely already like some of the most unpopular people in America, who God knows what the results of that will be. Some things are happening, man. Some things are happening that are it's going to get more interesting than it already is. Let's just say that. Looks like the gang is all here. Hell yeah. What's up, Badger? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. All my friends is here. But what about Vanguard? I don't know much about Vanguard. I definitely should, but I don't know much about them right now to comment on it, and I don't want to just go in on something that I don't know nothing about. Saw the folks got your taxes done. Good job. Did you see the TED Talk with Elon? No, I haven't been able to watch that yet. I do want to see it, though. I've actually got it saved. Did you ever look if your idea of selling shares to Elon can allow for a faster takeover? So a while back, what Red's referring to is I asked if we were capable of just handing our shares directly to Elon. Like, I have 3 shares. My neighbor might have 5, like little things here and there. And kind of like Goku, whenever he charges up the spirit bomb, we just give him our energy. The issue is that if we do that and he does get above 15%, then the poison pill triggers. By the way, I just want to address something that I keep seeing. Like, people are like, oh, Brandon predicted that Twitter's stock would tank because of the poison pill, but Twitter's stock is still up. Listen, people like, by the way, before I start on this guy, I'm not saying, I don't want to use my platform to encourage people to go and bully people. I don't want my viewers to do this. All right? I just want to make a point. I keep seeing idiots like this, so don't go harass this guy is what I'm trying to say. I see this guy, and he represents a whole bunch of people who decided that they wanted to tweet me after this tweet got sent out and went viral. And I said, so Twitter's board didn't allow the shareholders to vote on Elon Musk buying the company, choosing instead to tank its own stock price with a poison pill. They really, really don't want people to speak freely. So apparently a lot of leftists had a problem with this, and now they're shoving it in my face. The Twitter stock is still up. Listen, whatever your name is, Tiki Mon, all right, you idiot. The poison pill does not trigger until somebody else buys 15%, over 15% stock in the company. They did it to stop Elon Musk, who currently owns 9.2% of the company. Okay? If he buys over 15% of the company, the poison pill triggers, and they flood the market with more Twitter stocks, thus decreasing the value of the stocks in general. Tanking it, effectively. So, that's the issue here. I didn't say that the Twitter stock was just going to mysteriously go down because they enacted they threatened Elon Musk with a poison pill. The poison pill has to be triggered first. And the poison pill has not been triggered because no one is buying over 15% of the stock. Did you read? Did you read what it was about? Not apparently. But I've gotten so many messages like this one about like, yo, suck it, Brandon. Stock is still up. Bro, pay attention. Pay attention. This is the part of Twitter that I actually don't like. It's like, he's like, look, it's still up. Yeah, dude, the poison pill hasn't been enacted yet. Someone has to try to purchase 15% more. That's all. That's all. PJ Media had a great piece on the TED Talk. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. Elon can get it with a majority vote with proxies from minor shareholders. If that's the case, then awesome. But it looks like the board is trying everything in their power to stop him. And this poison pill thing is part of that. And I mean, it's supposed to it was like most things, it was an idea to stop hostile takeover corporate raiders, right? So it started off as a good idea, but in this case, they're using it for evil. And they're trying to stop him from taking more or Elon from taking more than they can handle, Because even if Elon Musk does just purchase 15% of the company, if he were to sell all that at once, that also would tank the stock. This might be damage mitigation, or I don't know what. But Elon said he had a plan B. I'm not sure exactly what that plan B is yet. I cannot wait to see it. But either way, this is going to be good. This gonna be good. If I'm wrong, then let's have a market expert come and talk to me about it. Right? I would love to see what are Elon's options. I would love to know. And I'm not claiming to be a market expert. I'm not a market expert. But it seems like it's pretty clear cut what's going on. You know, this is they're acting like they are, the captains of the good ship Twitter, but really they're the pirates. And they're threatening to sink the ship if Elon Musk it's more like in my honest opinion, it's more like a cyanide pill. More than or like a cyanide hidden tooth, like in those James Bond movies. You get caught and the spy kind of bites down on the tooth and it cracks the cyanide pill inside and he just like foams up, kills the person because it poisons them. That's kind of what's going on. Twitter hasn't been captured yet, but they've got the cyanide tooth in there. And if Elon Musk captures Twitter, they're going to bite the cyanide pill. It's kind of what it is. Even WAPO isn't excited about Dim's 2024 prospects. So earlier we talked about how the left has kind of given up on midterms. And it looks like a whole bunch of them are just throwing in the towel. And it's fun. It is fun to watch. I love this. But I love it because, in no small part, because they kind of did it to themselves, to be honest with you. Let's go ahead and dive in. This one's from Susie Moore. Old Susie Q. Really good writer. She's the woman who at Red State makes me look even a little bit intelligible. Because I really just kind of slam my fist on the keyboard and hope that what I'm saying looks good or sounds sensible. Susie goes in and makes me... She crosses my T's and dots my I's. I was hoping for a Sea of Thieves reference. Maybe in the near future we can do just a Sea of Thieves stream. One day I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get on here, and it's just not gonna be me covering culture in the news. I'm just gonna play some video games. I have a feeling that that'll actually go over really well with you guys, not brass. Twitter will scuttle the ship rather than make a sensible alliance with Elon. Exactly. The Twitter board right now is a bunch of 10-year-olds who want to cause more trouble than actually help solve the issue with grown, sensible adults. Susie needs a raise. She is overworked. Dude, Susie does a lot at this website. From time to time, we could call this Susie State. I'm going to go ahead and read her article, though. It's a holiday weekend, and the news cycle seems to have ratcheted down a notch, whether as a nod to the holidays or from sheer overload exhaustion is up for debate. But tucked away in the folds of yesterday's Washington Post, figurative, of course, I'm viewing the story online, was a rundown of the top Democrat contenders for the presidency in 2024. Red State of Thieves. You heart 10-year-olds. Saying that's a little dangerous in today's environment, don't you think, Carrie? I'm here listening, by the way. Susie, look, a star walks among us. Susie, I'm going to read your article. And I do mean rundown. Very little about WAPO's analysis here is particularly flattering. As to any of the potential candidates, but most notably the current president and Veep. The article starts out with an uncomfortable acknowledgement that Joe Biden may not be a legit contender come 2024. I am actually surprised that, to be honest with you guys, I am actually surprised that he's still around. I would have thought already that they would have tried to push Kamala. You know what my tinfoil hat theory is here? Howdy, folks. My tinfoil hat theory is that I think that the original plan was to kind of have Joe Biden out of the way, but Kamala Harris proved to be so unpopular and so inept at her job, with so many people abandoning ship and not wanting to work with her, that they had to push it back. That's my tinfoil hat theory. You can take that one all the way to the InfoWars, which filed for bankruptcy, by the way. This is from the WAPO. The poll from YouGov asked about the 2024 Democratic presidential primary. Only 21% of Democrat-leaning voters said their choice was the incumbent Democrat president, Joe Biden. That's sad. Only 21% of the guy's own party want to bring him back. That put him barely ahead of the 18% who said they weren't sure whom they support. Vice President Harris and Bernie Sanders each had 14% shares. I'm actually surprised Kamala Harris has that much. And there is no possible way that the DNC is going to allow Bernie Sanders. Why does my hair look like it's... I need a haircut. Your boy needs a haircut. I am surprised that that Harris has that much in terms of approval points. But no matter how many approval points Bernie Sanders gets, the DNC will not allow him to be president. If he becomes president, it's pretty much over for them in terms of like how, because I mean, like, he's going to bring forth this idea of like socialism and equality and all this nonsense, and it won't do to have him saying all this stuff and then have all these people benefiting, monetarily from government programs and big businesses and all this stuff in the background who are running the DNC. I don't think that they want to be put in that position. They would much rather have somebody capable of just carrying the party line and saying whatever lie they want them to say. DNC is super corrupt. And I'm not saying that Bernie Sanders isn't corrupt. I mean, he is a socialist who has like 3 houses worth over $1 million or some such. He's gotten in weird trouble with money in terms of banking. I think for a long time, he never paid back the cities who gave him security detail during his 2016 run. Like he is a socialist through and through. And as we all know, socialists aren't exactly the most honest people about money. And many of them are socialists are just capitalists when people's backs are turned. Let's face facts. But regardless, it's not necessarily the action, it's the look. And Bernie Sanders being up front, being the front man for the Democrat Party, would not really do well for these socialists or these lefties who run the DNC and push all this socialist nonsense, push all this social justice, push all this woke culture nonsense on you guys. But then they themselves don't practice a lick of it. It's a bad look. This is not normal. We've seen some evidence that Democrats aren't sold on nominating Biden for a second term, including a poll in November showing a majority of Democrats who didn't want him to run again. But lots of Republicans say the same about a repeat run for Donald Trump in 2024. Yet, he's the clear front runner when you pit him against actual would-be opponents. Right now, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I would much rather have my dog Gizmo be president of the United States. I think that it would make a lot more sense. We would have a little bit more sensibility return to the White House. Okay? And I'm just saying that there was a mayor who was a dog in one city and town for a long time, and apparently it's doing just fine. I'm just putting that out there. Then comes the hand-wringing over how to best address this awkward predicament. But if Biden is intent on running again, do you allow a competitive primary that could put the choice in voters' hands and risk damaging the incumbent president, aka or a la Jimmy Carter versus Ted Kennedy in 1980? Do you subtly suggest to Biden that it might be better to pass the torch and hope that it works? Or do you just hope things with his presidency get better, which they're not going to? The article then provides a list of 10 most likely contenders for the Democrats. Notably absent from the list, not even landing in the worth mentioning column, is Hillary Clinton. Dude, the Democrats are done with Hillary Clinton. They were done with Hillary Clinton in 2016. I know it didn't seem like it, and there was a lot of fanfare around her, but I mean, clearly she lost to Donald Trump. Okay? Many people voted for her either because they didn't want Trump to be president or because she just had a D next to her name and they had to. But I mean, you want to talk, I think Bernie Sanders honestly would have had a little bit more of a good chance of winning than Hillary Clinton. But again, the DNC will not put Bernie Sanders up as an option. I won't set the entire list here, but rather include a few experts to illustrate the tone WAPO takes in its analysis. First off, California Governor Gavin Newsom. If you wanted a reason to not take this seriously, this little list, to take WAPO in general seriously, they just put California Governor Gavin Newsom up as a serious potential frontrunner for being the president of the United States. I could stop there. This dude ran California into the ground and continues to run California into the ground. He makes the worst decisions ever, and he's clearly a hypocrite. And they're like, you know who would be really great? Let's take the guy who destroyed California. We're going to put him in charge of everyone else. Oh my God, this guy. Whoever wrote this article, dude. Touch grass. Newsom notched a big victory in a much-watched recall vote last year, but how he'd wear on voters outside the Golden State is a big question. Not well, I can tell you that. He's not exactly the most popular governor in the nation. Newsom practically exudes West Coast liberal, dude, 100%. Even as he's probably a bit more moderate than some people realize. That's nonsense. Don't give us that, oh, he's actually a moderate crap. Bro, he's the governor of California. Are they serious? WAPO is. Elon, buy WAPO. Please. Or the New York Times. You know what? No. Leave WAPO. Buy the New York Times. Elon. Would you please? Would you kindly? Senator Cory Booker. They really are scraping the bottom of the barrel. Cory Booker? Really? Nice hat, partner. Thank you. Thank you kindly. When Kamala disappears, Joe goes next. It's Bernie Sanders. Plus another old politician. Somebody made a really good point. I know it's Bonchi. Bonchi made a really good point. Like, I don't mind older people being president, but when you start to reach the age that like Trump and Joe Biden have, like you start running a real risk of health problems really getting in the way of the presidency. Bernie Sanders is old as sin, bro. Like this dude was there when they rolled out dirt. Okay? That's how long he's been around. And I'm pretty sure that the moment that the stresses of the White House hit Bernie Sanders, that dude is going to tank mentally. Also, he's a socialist. He's already not all there. I consider people who truly believe in socialism to be the equivalent of flat earthers. Not joking. In my honest opinion, if you think that a system that has failed in everywhere, every place, every state, every country that it's been tried, then you are, to me, in my opinion, the same thing as a person who thinks that the earth is not a globe. You think the earth is flat. You're the same level of intelligence. You could have all the proof in the world and you're still like, nope. Earth is flat. Communism works. Okay. My favorite is the communism has never been tried argument. I could go on for days about this. You know what? I'm not going to get stun locked on it. You know, we'll dedicate an entire segment to how dumb socialism is. His 2020 campaign came nowhere. We're talking about Cory Booker. His 2020 campaign came nowhere close to capitalizing on the promise of his early political career. But Booker is just 52 and could still have another act on the national stage. No, dude, he has embarrassed himself way too much. Do you know how try-hard this guy is? Did y'all see him during the confirmation hearings of Brett Kavanaugh? There's something, he tries. He tries real hard. But he's not quite at the level of like, he has no swagger. He's got no, I feel like he doesn't have his own intelligence. We'll just say that. He takes his marching, he's very Beto O'Rourke. You know, he'll be whoever you need him to be. He'll say whatever you need him to say. But I don't think that the dude is actually his own man. I think he's going to be one of those people who just kind of goes with whatever which makes him the perfect candidate for the DNC. But I mean, like, I just don't think that he's got that swagger. He's nothing like Obama. You know, like Obama had swagger. He had like this coolness, this chill about him. He looked like he knew what he was talking about even when he didn't. You know, I don't think Cory Booker has that. You know, I think that he and Kamala Harris are very alike in many regards. I'm pretty sure that he would be the male Kamala Harris. Senator Amy Klobuchar, who I forgot existed until this moment. Her high water mark in 2020 was 20% in New Hampshire, and she underperformed in Iowa long before Biden really kicked things into gear. It's not exactly selling me. But the glummest notes are reserved for the two who should be the most likely twos. Vice President Kamala Harris, who, by the way, doesn't even land in the top two. That's so sad. We're dropping Harris down a slot this time. Being vice president is certainly a good launch pad, but it's not at all clear Harris has put it to good use. Her numbers are similar to Biden's, and she's done little to change the perception that harmed her 2020 campaign, including on her ability to drive a message. She has no ability to drive a message. In fact, whatever you put her up to, people just instantly get turned off to. It's like clockwork at this point in time. No wonder they kept Kamala Harris in the background. Everything she touches, she's like the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything she touches turns to shit. That's just, it's horrible. President Joe Biden, the big guy himself, having said all of the above, things are often darkest for a president in midterm election history, in a midterm election year. And Biden has both a pandemic. It's over. The pandemic's over, guys. YouTube, do what you want. If you want to try to ban me for saying that, then fine. But it's true. Elon, bye, YouTube. And Biden has both a pandemic and inflation, also by Twitch. And Biden has both a pandemic and inflation to contend with. The inflation is real. The inflation is very real. And it's his fault. He's not contending with it. He made it. He started it. If those factors wane in the coming months and after 2022 midterms, the picture might be significantly different. Yes, and the Biden administration hasn't been floundering so spectacularly in its first 15 months. The picture might be significantly different, too. Not exactly a ringing endorsement for Biden or Harris, nor an optimistic outlook for Dems as a whole. Then again, we're over 2 years away from the conventions. We could be looking at a totally different political landscape by the time we get there. My suspicion is the folks at the Washington Post would welcome that. I have that same suspicion, Susie. I'm 90% sure that by the time we actually do reach the presidential election, this is going to be, the whole Biden-Kamala question is probably not going to be an answer or a question at all. I'm pretty sure one of them. I'm pretty sure Biden is going to get replaced by Kamala Harris first, and then Kamala Harris is going to say she steps down because, you know, some noble reason. I don't know what. I don't know, but she's going to end up stepping down. I still think we're going to have a President Kamala Harris. I don't know how long they're going to allow Joe Biden to hang out and do what he's doing. I mean, have y'all seen some of the stuff that's happening right now? Like Joe Biden is clearly not doing well. Today, was it during like the Easter egg? They were doing something like with an Easter egg, reading. They were reading to kids or something like that. Joe Biden and Jill Biden were, and Jill Biden had to stop him from getting up because like he was looking kind of confused what to do, and Jill Biden was like, "No, sit down, just stay seated." And then they made a joke about how she's a teacher and like that's why she said that or something like that. I don't know. It's really sad, but Joe Biden is clearly lost. Here he is. He was at the same event, I think, and he was mumbling about Afghanistan. I'm going to show you guys.
Pakistan should not, and Afghanistan should be people.
All the easy money, easy, Mr. President.
understand should be people should
All
be
the
free.
Easter Bunny needs you, Mr. President.
He actually, first off, I have no idea what he was trying to say there. He did not make any sense. But look at his face. Y'all, he looks like he is actually terrified here. Y'all see this? Look at this face. Like for half a second, he's like, oh God. What the hell is this? This poor guy does not need to be in the White. He does not need to be behind the Resolute desk. Okay, this man is clearly not here. I'm laughing and I shouldn't be laughing because I actually feel bad for him. The other thing that he did, he shook hands with an invisible. Look at this. Watch.
Of America. God bless you all.
Now, full disclosure. I mean, he to be fair, he could have been pointing to somebody and like, hey, you're up, or I don't know what. He could have just been gesturing to someone off stage. He could have been. I don't know. But he might have a ghost pal. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of friends, obviously. He might be shaking the hand of his invisible friend that he had to make up because he's surrounded by people who just want to take. And is he lost? I feel bad for him. I feel really bad for him. I don't know. The fact that I don't know if this moment was him reaching to shake somebody's hand or gesturing to someone, I don't know. The fact that I don't know that is sad in and of itself. This dude should not be president. I don't know if he would be a better president. That said, I don't know if he'd be a better president if he was in his right mind, but he's clearly not all there. And I feel like time after time after time after time, we see examples of just how, I don't want to use the word sick, but I'm going to have to here. Sick he is in his brain, and they are taking advantage of him. You know, I just don't. Joe Biden is currently the biggest con being pushed on Americans, if not the world. He clearly it's something's not right here, and they keep him in this seat. So no, I don't think that he's going to be around this entire time. Something's got to give. At some point in time, something's got to give. I think they'll have Kamala Harris as president, and it might happen sooner than we think. And then she's going to roll over into the next election, where they clearly she's not going to be able to make it. Clearly, she's going to be very unpopular. And in order to have any kind of chance of winning the White House, the Democrats, I bet, are going to do, and clip this because I bet this is what's going to happen. The Democrats are going to do exactly what they're doing right now, which is sequestering themselves away from all the blame that they're trying to pile it all on Joe Biden and the Biden administration. They're going to do the same thing to Kamala Harris. And they're going to come up with some other people to run against either Trump if he runs or DeSantis. I don't know. Probably DeSantis. But they're not going to have a chance in hell. There is not a chance in hell. They have no one. They are leaderless. Every person that they put up is just as embarrassing as the last. Bernie has a heart attack. I think he did actually, Kerry. I think you're right. Now we haven't heard much from Bernie lately. Hopefully it wouldn't be a Mad Max landscape by the election. God, I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. The bunny had to help get him to the right place. He was scared of the bunny. He was totally scared of the bunny. Look at this poor guy. Y'all, it's funny, but it's not funny. Hashtag save Biden. Good God. I'd imagine they'll let Joe hang out as long as he doesn't openly and intentionally oppose them. But I don't think he would ever oppose them. But it's because I don't think he has the ability to oppose them. I don't think that he hardly knows what's going on half the time. He can only obey at this point. He has no agency. Every time he practices going off script or having any kind of agency for himself, he looks like a lost, confused old man who doesn't know where he is or what's going on. He's surprised by things. Why is this picture? I'm screenshotting this. I'm screenshotting it. Saving this image for later. It's like trying to prop up a melting Jell-O pudding pop. Exactly, pickled squirrel. Exactly. He needs to share. Jim Thompson's cartoon on the handshake was great. Let's check that out. Let's check that out. Jim Thompson really he has some really good cartoons, man. By the way, everything is redstate.com that I'm talking about right now. Go check it out. Let's see, where's Jim's article? Jim, where's your article? Jim, did I pass it? There it is. Take me home, Harvey. A 1944 Pulitzer Prize winning play titled Harvey, an invisible giant rabbit is the best friend of a weirdo named Elwood Dowd, possibly relation to Maureen Dowd. A 1950 Oscar-nominated movie with the same theme. In 2022, a president shakes hands with the invisible best friend, I'm guessing Harvey. That's so sad. Isn't that also kind of the plot of Donnie Darko? If I remember correctly. It was on Friday. Yep, we got it. The latency. The latency. Also, can we just enjoy Joe being completely lost to Stars and Stripes forever? That's so sad. Am I the only person who feels bad for him? Like, I truly want the guy to be rescued. I'm not saying that he necessarily, like, his past is absolutely god-awful. He has done some horrible things in his time. He is a serial liar, a habitual liar. Clearly, there's something going on between his family and Ukraine. Some weird, like, discrepancies. His son is a mess. Like, all of this stuff. But at this point in time, like, this dude is out of the game. The Joe Biden of then is not the Joe Biden of now. Now he's just a sad, lost old man. He's completely lost any ability to be cognitively all there. I feel horrible for him. I want him to be saved from the people who are clearly using him and taking advantage of him. It's kind of sad to watch. It really is. But you know what? It's a really good opportunity to teach people. Like, dude, when it comes to loyalty and heroes and, being valued as a human being, the people who run the DNC don't care about you. They don't, no matter what their line is or what their narrative is for the day, you know, the running narrative for society overall, they're not the party who cares. All right, these people don't care about you. They don't care about anybody. You are, if you are useful, then they're nice to you. But the moment you step out of line, the moment you stop being useful, they will treat you like garbage. Because they're only concerned with one thing, and that's power. Whatever they can do to get power, they will do. Whoever they have to use to get power, they will use. It doesn't matter if you are on the lowest rung of the social justice totem pole, because, you know, in the social justice Olympics, the person who finishes last is first. You could be the moment that you stop being useful or you become a problem or an issue, You're done. These people don't care about you, and they don't care about Joe Biden. All these accolades and like the celebration of Joe Biden and his capability and all that stuff, they never believed it. They just knew that if they got him into the White House, or that he was their best ticket into the White House, and they knew that the moment they could get him in there is the moment that they could really start pushing stuff for themselves. Joe consistently reminds me of the guy from the fantastic episode of Star Trek with the guy who brought that history to a planet and influenced it. I never saw that one. I'm trying to remember. Is it original or in New Generation? I feel bad for him. Only that he needs to be put out to pasture. Yeah, absolutely. Like, let the dude retire, man. Let him go. It's over for him. Good God. Thank you guys so much. That's it for me today. Damn, we actually did have an entire episode. I talk too much. That's the issue. Once I get talking, I can't stop. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have an awesome post-Easter recovery. I know that I'm going to. I'm going to write my VIP piece for you guys. By the way, VIP, if you haven't signed up for it yet, promo code MORSE, M-O-R-S-E, will get you a discount. It really helps us out if you join up. Also, like the stream if you haven't already and subscribe to the Red State YouTube. That also helps us out. But I'm going to write that VIP piece today for you guys, for you VIP subscribers, and then I'm taking the rest of the day off because your boy needs to rest. You know, he's got a headache and he feels a little hot. He needs to sit and like relax for a minute. I'm going to go and I'm going to watch some Demon Slayer or maybe some Arrested Development. I don't know. But in any case, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Guaranteed something big is going to happen on either later today or Tuesday. And Wednesday is going to be nuts. If not, I will be very surprised. But in any case, I will see you guys then. Y'all have an amazing rest of your week. Don't let Monday get you down. I'll see you later. Peace!